Hi, I'm Analia, and welcome to Brightly Becoming, a podcast that gives you the space to slow down and come back to yourself. Here we talk through life in a grounded way, where conversations are held on identity, faith, and becoming who we're called to be. If you're in a clear season or an uncertain one, I'm glad you're here either way. It's time to come back to who you are underneath what you carry. Welcome to Brightly Becoming. Today we're talking about how to find happiness in hard seasons. You may be thinking, I can't feel happy right now. I'm not where I want to be. I'm going through something really difficult. I'm feeling depressed. I'm finding it really hard to find happiness at the moment. And I've been there, and I currently feel like I'm there. So I'm truly speaking from my heart today. This is something I'm going through in real time. And if you are too, you definitely are not alone. So this is going to get pretty deep today. I have found myself physically feeling outside of my body so many different times in my life, more than ever recently because of what I've been going through the last couple of years. And it's almost like God is trying to show me right now how to be happy where I am. I've always been someone where, well, I'm a perfectionist, so that doesn't help, but I've always been someone where I feel like I'm unable to do a certain thing or feel a certain way until I'm at 100%, which realistically, are we ever at 100%? No, because in life, we endure both good and bad experiences, and that's just life. It's just a part of life. This out-of-body experience that I have is something with my nervous system, and a lot of people go through it. It's depersonalization, derealization. It's a state that we get into when our surroundings are too overwhelming in our environment, or we've been through a lot of traumatic events and our body doesn't feel safe, so we physically leave our bodies. And it sounds scary, and it is, but the more that you go through it, you realize it's not unsafe, it's just uncomfortable, and that's what's really been helping me. But lately, that's where I've found myself, and more than ever, like I was mentioning, and it's just been really difficult to find the positives in this moment. And I wouldn't even say positives. I would say just find moments where I allow myself to be happy or where I am feeling happy. I keep telling myself I can't be happy till all of this is over. I can't be happy till I feel present again. I can't be happy until I can eat whatever I'd like to again, until I can drive my car by myself again without worrying about feeling lightheaded. All these things, right? And it's like, why can't I just allow myself to be happy now, where I am in this moment? It feels like God is trying to show me how to be happy in this exact moment. The moment that doesn't feel perfect, but messy, terrifying, and like I have no idea what the outcome will be. And I kind of have no choice but to surrender, give this to God, and let Him take care of it because it's too overwhelming. And I have this fear of looking back one day as I'm older and realizing I've only ever looked forward to things in my life. I never truly lived them out. I never truly sat in the present moment and took what I was meant to experience from that, versus I dissociated so far out of my body into 2 years from now, where I may be sick now, so therefore I'm planning my life 2 years later and what that looks like. Instead of just sitting in the uncomfortable feelings and telling myself, this is uncomfortable, it's not unsafe. When I tell myself that, instead of spiraling and thinking that these symptoms mean it's something that just hasn't been caught yet in my blood work, or it's just something that's been unidentified, I notice a physical shift. I'm able to go throughout my day and not let that feeling scare me. It's when I give into that anxiety, though, that there is a possibility this is worse than I think it is, that I end up turning my back on God, not trusting Him, and I find myself feeling angry with Him. And this is where I get this feeling of guilt, because how could I ever be angry at God? He's given me so much. He's with me all the time. But it's when we feel distant from him and we're like, where did he go? Like you were with me, I felt your presence and now I don't. No one yells when they're right next to you. No one screams when they're right next to you. And that's what I've been realizing lately is God is with me. He's just trusted me with so many things that right now he's kind of testing me. And this is testing my faith. I'm building endurance in this season. And you are too. If you're going through a difficult season, it's not in vain. It's meant to prepare you. You're in a preparation season because something is on the other side of this. But what I think it's so easy to do as humans is constantly just think about what's on the other side instead of just waiting it out, right? Like being patient is so difficult. I prayed for it and I definitely got it because I've been dealing with this for a little over 2 years now. And it's been a roller coaster of emotions and healing that I didn't even know, healing things that I didn't even know I needed to heal, honestly. And I feel God really strengthening me in this season, and it's not been pretty. Becoming stronger normally is never pretty. And there are ways, though, that I've been able to find happiness in my day to day, even when this stuff is going on. And that's what I want to share with you. Recently, I made a list of everything that feels aligned with who I am, everything that brings me happiness, and I've been picking a few things off that list and kind of shuffling them throughout my weekly routine. And it's definitely been helping. I started drawing again. I started playing my guitar again. And even though I'm not where I want to be yet, and that does kind of eat at me on a daily basis, I can still enjoy this messy, scary, beautiful, emotional process of becoming. That's why I started this podcast, because I think so often we think we have to be 100% to be happy. But like I said, are we ever really at 100%? Are we just waiting for something good to happen until we can become happy? Why can't we allow ourselves to be happy now? I think even when you come out of this difficult season that you convince yourself you're never going to get through, sometimes we find ourselves looking back on it and missing small parts. You are never going to be able to experience this version of you in this exact moment again. So why don't you just try to appreciate what you have now? And it's so much easier said than done, right? Because you want so badly just to get to the other side and see whatever it is God has for you. You want to understand why you're going through this. Believe me, I get it. I try all the time to figure it out, but God's understanding is so much greater than our own. I think we find happiness the second we allow ourselves to stop relying on the difficult season we're in to end. Happiness exists where you are now. It may feel impossible because you're feeling depressed, but I can promise you there is at least one thing in your environment or one thing within your heart that you can do daily to make yourself feel happy. It's really, for me, about what can I do to become 1% better every day, instead of I have all these goals I need to attain. I have all these habits I need to set in place. And how habits can come from this place of shame or compassion is an entirely different topic. But that's one of the reasons that we have a hard time reaching our goals, is we're doing it for the wrong reasons. And if you break it down and you ask yourself instead, what can I do to become 1% better? It feels much more attainable and less intense to our bodies and our nervous systems. For me, it's been lately, what can I do to feel happy today? What is that 1% better activity, belief? Like what is it I can do to feel happy today? And it could be a 5-minute walk. It could be, like I said, singing, playing guitar, journaling. Even if it's for 5 minutes of your day, you have now just done something for your future self. You have now done something to get yourself out of this pit. I think so often we think that finding happiness has to be this extraordinary, out of the box, unique experience, but we can find happiness in the little things in our day. And you can't feel gratitude and feelings of anxiety at the same time. So really focusing in on, what am I grateful for today? Sure, I had a bad day, but there's at least one thing Or start with 5 things. Maybe that's your 1% better. What are 5 things I'm grateful for today? And you'll be able to look back and realize that you were able to find small moments of happiness, even in the difficult seasons, and that itself builds endurance. So if you're listening and it feels impossible to find joy where you are, if you're going through something that only you feel like you understand and you're feeling isolated and lonely, you are not alone. And I challenge you to find that 1% better in this exact moment. Maybe listening to this inspired you to go do something you love again, or go on a walk and clear your head, and I hope it did. And just ask yourself, what can I be grateful for in this moment? Even if it looks messy, even if it's uncomfortable, I'm going to find things that I can be grateful for. Thank you for being here with me. I hope that this space felt like a place where you could feel present and slow down for a bit with me. Remember, wherever you are, whatever season you're in, you're allowed to be there, good or bad. And you're not behind, you are becoming. I'll talk to you soon.